Believe it or not, it's the end of July, which means it's time to plan for August. Each month of the year brings its own challenges and excitement, and it's important for us to set goals that meet those moments. Even though I set goals at the beginning of the year on January 1st, my life doesn't look the same August 1st as it did on January 1st. I believe it's important to check in every month to see if you're continuously moving toward the life that you imagine for yourself. I will be goal setting right alongside of you, but before I do that, I want to go back through the 6-step framework and show you where goal setting fits into this process. I'm a very metaphorical thinker, so I'm going to use the metaphor of planning for a vacation so that you understand what I'm talking about. We've been talking a lot about step 1, which is vision, which is setting a clear picture of what you want your life to look like. And the vacation metaphor, it's when you're daydreaming about the family vacation that you want to take, and you're really thinking about how that's going to look and feel. For the purpose of this metaphor, we're going to say that your dream vacation is a relaxing beach vacation with your family, where you get up in the morning and have breakfast together, then you go out on the beach, you take some naps, the kids run up and down the coast. Maybe you pack sandwiches and eat them on your towels. You can smell the ocean, you can feel the sand on your back, you can feel the breeze through the window of your hotel, and you can even feel that cold air conditioning air when you come in for your afternoon nap. It sounds glorious, doesn't it? So that's your vision. When you set out to plan your vacation, that is what you're going for. But step 2 is season. It's identifying the season of life you're in and checking and balancing that against your vision. In this metaphor, maybe your season of life is that you have a newborn and a preteen. A newborn who has needs every couple of hours, and maybe you have a preteen who gets bored fast. So the idea of sitting in a beach chair all day will mean that about 10 a.m., he's over it. Now listen, I'm not saying that when you identify the season of life you're in, you then abandon your vision. Here's where the next step comes in. Step 3 is limiting beliefs. Because as soon as you start thinking of the season of life you're in, the intrusive thoughts of your limiting beliefs will speak up and say, yeah, we can't do a beach vacation this year. But that's not actually true. The plan just needs refining so that you can move closer to the beach vacation that you crave. Your goals are your actual itinerary. So that's when you sit down and you make a plan that reflects the vision that you have for your life with awareness of the season that you're in, not being held back by your limiting beliefs. So you make the choices about what goes on your itinerary based on those things. You decide to drive instead of fly so that you can hit a couple of places along the way that your preteen will enjoy and your baby will sleep better in the car. You decide when you get to the destination, you'll spend a couple of hours a day on the beach, and that afternoon nap will be non-negotiable. But maybe not everybody has to have breakfast together. Maybe you buy some muffins for the room and let people wake up according to their own sleep schedules. Then you spend a couple of hours at the beach, afternoon nap, and your evenings are always some kind of activity that will engage each person in the family. You're moving toward family vacations where you just lay on the beach all day, but you know that's probably not possible for your family right now. So at least you're going to get a couple hours a day on the beach. You're going to introduce your kids to the concept. And ultimately, this is closer to what you want than if you had decided to scrap the plan altogether. Vision was your daydream about your vacation. Season was understanding what your family dynamic is right now. Limiting beliefs are when you almost scrapped the plan, and then your goals are when you built the itinerary. Your habits come into place each morning when the sun comes up. Do you actually get everybody out of bed, even though you plan to let people wake up as they wanted to? Do you go to the beach from 10 a.m. to noon every day? Or once you wake up, you look around and think everybody looks pretty cozy, so you let everybody just play on their tablets throughout the day in the hotel room? It may seem in the moment that scrapping the beach time for tablet time in the room is a good idea, but then you need to keep in mind that you're going to look back on this vacation and see if it's what you had daydreamed it to be. And if it's not, you're going to be disappointed. The last step is reflection, and that happens for me every Friday, and again more holistically at the end of the month. That's when you evaluate if what you're doing is working and make any adjustments along the way. Reflection is again where limiting beliefs can sneak in, because you can reflect upon something and think, I'm not cut out for this, and decide to scrap it. You really need to be aware of your limiting beliefs throughout the reflection process as well. Reflection might happen halfway through your week-long beach vacation. After the first couple of days, you might realize the kids are actually enjoying the beach a lot more than you thought they would. So maybe you can extend your beach time. Or storms roll in on the forecast, something out of your control, and you have to reevaluate your itinerary. The important thing about the reflection step is that you keep in mind your vision, your season, and your limiting beliefs throughout that process so that you can continue to refine your goals and your habits. See how I say, even though it's 6 steps, it's not as complicated as we make it. We really do go through these 6 steps throughout our lives at various points for various things, and I'm just putting a name to them. I have one rule for goal setting, and that's to never have more than 5 goals that you're trying to achieve at once. You can keep a running list of all the goals that you want to achieve at some point. Choose 1 to 5 of them to work on now. And when I say 5, we'll get into this when we look at my goals. There should only be 1 or 2 brand new things you're trying to tackle, and then a few things that you have in process that you're working toward. Once you accomplish a goal, you can go back to your running list to see what you want to try to do next. I have to leave for work, but I'll come back and we'll pick my August goals together. My first goal I've had all year, and that is to pay $10,000 toward our credit card debt this year. Next, I'd like to have weekly date nights with my husband. You're helping me reach my third goal, which is to grow this Aligned Action Academy brand. My fourth goal is to figure out my gift shop's finances. I'm not really good at the numbers side of things. And then I have an overall self-confidence goal, which involves my hair, my skin, my teeth, and my clothes. A critical part of goal setting is establishing the habits that you want to do every day that will move you toward that goal. So we're going to look at the goals that we've established for August, and we're going to pick 1 to 2 habits maximum that we're going to do on a regular basis that are going to move us toward that goal. Here are mine with my habit examples. For my debt payoff goal, I've established a weekly debt check-in process. My second is a goal and a habit in one, but we did have to pick a day of the week that we could feasibly make date nights work, and we picked Fridays. In order to grow the Aligned Action Academy brand, I have been posting on TikTok every day. You'd be amazed at how much goes into making a retail business's finances work, but I've carved out 60 to 90 minutes a week to try to learn more about this and implement better practices in my business. I've lost about 55 pounds, so all of my clothes sort of fit weird right now. I'm looking for new ones, but I made a rule for myself that if I don't absolutely love an outfit when I try it on, I have to leave it at the store. So check in with me. Have you looked at your vision, evaluated your limiting beliefs, seen what season of life you're going to be in August, picked 1 to 5 goals and 1 to 2 habits per goal? I believe that goals are never accomplished in secret, so I want you to drop at least one that you're working on in the comments so we can hype each other up along the way.